All right, it's 5:01, and we're going to start the Town of Sangerville Selectmen's meeting. It's January 8th, 2020, and we'll open with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2, approval of the minutes, December 18, 2019, Select Board meeting, and January 2nd, 2020, Special Select Board meeting.
I can make a motion to approve A. I was not present for B. So maybe,
I'll make a motion for A and B.
okay. No,
Or for B.
I can second the A.
Yeah, well, let's do A first.
Okay.
Do we second?
Yeah.
Those in favor? All three of us, and now Dale.
Make a motion to accept B.
I second that, and we vote, two of us. Glad to have a full presence, that's good. Item 3, a review of treasurer's warrants, payroll 2 and 3, and accounts payable 108.
Make a motion to approve A and B is read.
Second.
Those in favor? All three of us, affirmative. We do have a guest tonight, open session, would you like to speak?
I don't have any stories, so no.
Okay. Moving on, old business, engineering report, A, the town hall, this is
That's what we all were circulating.
essentially for, if we want greater detail, they want more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if this is possible right now, because we're in the new year,
Yeah, we don't
Right.
have any money for
we
that.
don't have any money,
We can't do
so
anything till after town meeting.
we're basically gonna have to work on with what we know. But beyond that, we really can't do much right now. I mean, I guess we could have an emergency meeting, but I don't see us
Oh, yeah.
going that route.
We need to sign both of those, Bill.
I was Lincoln, so, I'll make sure.
Yeah, I spoke with Sharon Mountain. She came in and looked at the building and sent me a 35-page report today, which I haven't even begun to look at. It's just comparing this building to other buildings in the area. But her idea was that maybe you get a building inspector, but I'm not sure on the legalities of that, of
Well, you
what.
kinda got that with your
Well,
engineers.
yeah, so,
You were-
Well,
So-
and even your insurance adjuster.
yeah, so I haven't pursued that, but,
Didn't she shoot a number though?
67,000 was what her computer spit out, and then she was comparing it to other places. That's market value, not terms of what the building is actually, well,
She did say.
that's market value.
Only worth what it's worth.
That's right.
Right. Did you guys read the emails that she's talking about?
No, unfortunately.
She did say that she was showing a piece of property to a
Yeah, I didn't get,
prospective
I was
buyer,
busy at the mill, I didn't
and
get
she
time.
said, if you want, I could let them come see this.
It was the KC,
Yeah.
hall in Dexter.
I don't see any harm in letting someone come see it, just out
Well,
of
just give you
curiosity.
an idea of what
Yeah.
it would be worth.
Yeah.
I think like you're there
Yeah.
yet, but.
Like, well,
I mean,
or they
this,
were even planning on selling it, it was just
Correct.
a,
we're trying to get some,
Some
but if
kind of
she
a
wants to
value.
drag them over here, I don't know what harm it would be.
well, she wanted to drag me over there.
Oh, I see, well, that's
Yeah, but I mean, as
less,
far as for you to compare this building doesn't compare to KC.
no,
No, so, and I was busy and I didn't go. but-
okay, I didn't totally understand what she was proposing.
No. But I guess it was to get more of a feel of what's commercially, but she listed, I don't know, 15, 20 properties, I haven't even
The
studied it
thing
yet,
is,
but-
if it's worth 65, is it 65, I'm just going with her number, is it 65 assuming that it has a sound foundation? What is it worth once you disclose what we know? I mean,
Oh, correct, she's giving you a number, cause she's basing it off of the information of buildings of
Well,
like
she
type
does
that's
know,
sold.
I didn't hide it from her,
Oh,
I
okay.
I didn't
No, but I mean,
say,
she's giving it a number.
But
No.
she assumes it's safe to inhabit it.
yeah,
Correct,
yeah.
cause I mean, her computer's gonna.
It's amazing
compare.
the different opinions you get of different people, some who have expertise, some who have no expertise as to, do we have an issue, don't we have an issue?
Well,
Well,
we haven't
actually,
had
I-
anybody with expertise that said we have no issue.
True.
There's
Nobody.
I was like right on the line. Do you does Diane have any idea what we found out from when they actually came in?
I don't know if
I mean, we
did I
talked
share
about
that
it a
with you
little
at all,
bit.
Diane?
Well, in a nutshell, he come through and he went around. Yeah, it was, I can't remember his name.
His name is Ryan.
Carpenter.
His,
This guy.
his name is Ryan Keyser. That's the boss who signed that letter.
They're engineers. so
This
it's a
is
little
what the first,
Misnomer. It's
an extra
misleading, that
copy.
name.
Yeah.
Is
So,
this a copy I can keep? Or is-
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
but he actually went through and pointed out more than one location where the foundation is actually cracking.
yeah.
And that there is structural deviation in it and.
And we happen to have no snow, so we did the entire outside of the building,
You
the
took
entire
all kinds of
inside of the building.
pictures.
I
Yeah.
dragged him upstairs
Found
to,
found
to see.
shearing and timbers.
Right.
Yeah.
He went all the way stem to stern,
Right.
up and down.
Yeah, he's saying that actually a lot of these structural timbers in the floor are now cracking out due to, or
Well,
whether it's
due-
actually
due
part of the
to
foundation or.
The foundation issue due to age, due to,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
And
he's
he-
actually
due to
saying
some things
4
we've done
walls
to the
up is
building,
good.
I think is also what he's saying.
Yeah, it almost, I don't know that he alleged this, but it almost seems like the project that we did 15 years ago may have undermined the foundation. It almost
Well, it
looked like it
sounds-
exacerbated it.
Yeah, it sounds like it didn't fix the
No.
Right,
issue that they
right.
wanted it to
Right.
fix.
Cause he wasn't buying into the bulkhead cause either. It was
No,
much
no.
bigger than that.
So you go after these guys for not doing the job that was.
Actually, they didn't do it.
They didn't
They,
do it.
they did
We-
the
They were
engineering,
the engineers,
and
but they
then,
were not the,
They weren't
And I
quick
can
at the work.
almost guess why,
Right.
because they're pretty expensive.
Yeah,
I'm
but you're
sure
not gonna,
that-
I mean, any engineer's gonna.
yeah, they're gonna,
Yeah, I know that, but I can imagine the scenario where they say, and then you
we'll
get a bunch of
oversee it.
locals that say, oh, no, we can do that. And so then they did it, now we've got cornerstones tearing out here.
Right.
and granite that's breaking.
yeah, under my office, I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
that
hang
was
out with.
interesting, cause now we're on the other side of the building.
I know,
Yeah,
Correct.
I know,
Right.
I know. He looked at it, and so,
And he's looking at the brick not as like a skirting, but as a,
Structure.
structural piece, he thinks it's
Huh.
holding up the building,
Mhm.
it's not, cause people were trying to tell me that it's
Just a face.
It's decorative, a fascia, and there's
Right.
something in the middle, and
Well, that's what I was trying to question because
he doesn't think so, but I
don't-
guess if I pay him 4,500, he'll take
A better.
he'll
If-
actually.
if you come in my building
Yeah.
where we have the same type scenario, we have a
Yep.
rock base and we have a brick fascia.
Yep,
And where those pilasters are, you don't have to be an engineer to pick those out because the wall is flat because it's brick fascia
Yeah.
on both sides.
Right.
And
And
wherever
then
the
you can see.
pilaster is, it comes out around it.
right.
The brick does.
The brick
Yeah.
does. And the only point of this building we have that is on the corners.
Right.
There's nothing on these walls.
Right.
So,
And I've read stuff in the folders that says they decided that the walls were thicker than they thought, and that therefore they were fine,
didn't put them in.
and as to who decided that, it's like,
We know who it
everybody,
wasn't.
everybody,
Yeah, we know who it wasn't.
everybody, you know,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So really, we don't know if it's the work that we did there or do the remodeling we've done since around that time, but the floor integrity is now,
Compromise.
right, same about the foundation of the building, but now the floor
Yeah.
itself, the beams are bad, they're gone.
yeah. You know,
And his numbers were not really that different. The other two people that came, they were looking at a very narrowly focused thing, and they came in with a number that was around 150,000 or 135,000. His number was close to, he said between 200,000 and 300,000, but he found many more areas that need to be addressed, so his number was pretty consistent.
Right.
He found cornerstones that were ripped out and they didn't even see them, so.
yeah, they didn't.
Well, we didn't have.
We didn't
one.
have-
have them
Yeah, I
addressed.
only, I very
They looked
specifically
here.
said, would
Yeah,
you
they
please
just
look
looked at
at
what we
this?
said to
Right.
look at.
Correct,
Yeah.
we didn't actually say,
Yeah.
But.
look at the whole picture.
Yeah. And then he pretty much said that it would, once we did that, we would need to look at this floor. And he was looking at up to 200,000 to bring that up to code.
Wow.
And keep, or, you know, to keep progressing and keep maintaining, and I'm like, well, and those are the numbers I kind of figured I was getting, a breakdown of what he was talking about, but he, no.
So there's not much more to do with these guys this year.
No, we can't till after, I mean, we,
No,
yeah.
that doesn't mean that we can't progress as with what information we have, but we're not gonna get more detail.
No, and I was kind of hoping like we could have something at town meeting. I looked at warrant articles and how to, you know, and have somebody like that lay it all out for you, but we can't do it because we don't have any money to do it until we have the meeting.
Well, it's questionable, I think we could.
We
I
could,
mean, if you
but,
deem this as an emergency situation, that we need to do this, then yes, we could spend this money and we could do it.
well, I
That's-
guess we could do that if I could get him to tell me that,
Well, and that's kind of, I mean,
you
so,
know, we need to take care of it, you know, do we need to take care of it as in move out, or do we need to take care of it in this budget cycle, which means we'll have, that's pretty, fairly an emergency, or can we do some more planning?
Or do we know enough?
Well,
I'm wondering, do we reach out to your inspector and talk with him at this point? Because I mean, you're up to 3 people that's looked at this building,
yep,
other than him,
yep,
and you have
I'll
one that
reach out
says
to
you
him.
need to move out tomorrow. And you've got
Yeah.
one that you need to worry about this over the next couple of years, and then
Yeah.
you've got one, he basically said you need to be getting on this within the next
It needs
6
to be
months to a year.
addressed.
It needs to
Yeah.
be addressed.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've got 3 varying concepts of what we need to do.
we've got now to 2 years from now.
Correct.
But I guess
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm
But it-
asking is, does any of that really matter to us? Depending on what direction we're gonna go. If we're gonna fix the building,
Then
then
it
yes,
matters.
it totally
Right,
matters.
right,
Cause we need a
right.
full plan, in fact,
Correct.
we probably ought to get that considered an emergency and just spend the money so that we could get the plan approved or not approved. If we're not going in that direction, if we're looking at alternatives, we may know enough already. We may not need to spend another $4,500. Because if it's gonna be 300,000, that may not be an amount that we wanna put in this building.
Yep.
So that, to me, now, once we can answer that,
Correct.
we can pick a path.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Just
And
be-
I'm inclined not to put 250, 300,000 into the foundation of this building. I'm inclined to look at alternatives.
To spend $300,000 and have the same exact building you have tomorrow, doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
Let's
maybe,
do it.
maybe what we spend our time in is looking for
Alternatives.
alternatives and not, you know, and go with the numbers that we've got. As far as what's wrong with this building, take it to town meeting and say, here's what we got, folks, what do you think?
Here's why we're proposing this.
Yeah,
But I think that's a decision that is at hand for us. Do we wanna try to prepare an alternative between now and town meeting? Or do we want to, it doesn't look like the 3 of us wanna pursue repairing this building. So if that's the case,
We need to.
we need to come up with alternatives.
Right.
Correct.
So, and we really don't need to spend $4,500 on this,
No, no.
so that's a savings.
Do we know when town meeting is? Did we
Well-
nail a date down?
that's on the agenda for
Okay,
tonight.
okay. All right, I just wanna know,
It's somewhat, it's, until we have a budget
Sure.
that we are, we've gotta have that done.
I'm
But
working on it.
I do have.
I don't have a
do
budget committee though.
I have another member for you.
Okay, well, I've got one.
I
I've
think you
got
got
two.
3.
I've got, well, that would fill
My
all,
wife will do it.
sounds good.
I've got,
If you have Diane and Lance Burgess told me he would do it, as long as we have ourselves organized in the fashion that I promised him. I said, this is not a 3-night, 4-night affair.
it'll be done.
It'll be
Okay.
done.
Well, Terry confirmed with me, Cynthia Hall confirmed with me, George is happy if you'll let him still be an alternate. So that left me with 3 other spaces.
And Lance says he'll do one.
And Diane said she would do it, Patty Davis said she would do it, and you said Lance said he would do it. So if you want to make those appointments,
I think you need to use, 3 or 5? You can have as many alternates as you want, but. How many you got?
I've got Terry and Cynthia. You have George as an alternate. I think you leave George as an alternate because he
I don't
only.
think George could be an alternate anymore.
Okay. That's fine with me.
You want a permanent, or what do you say?
No,
He-
Oh.
I don't think he can be on the board.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Love him right to death, and I love him to be there, but, I mean, he's
He
kind
can still
of,
come to the meetings. That's
Right,
no,
Yeah, right,
I
exactly.
just,
as an alternate, he has no voting power, so if he still wants to come and be involved, he can
Yep.
come and be involved and not have a title. So,
So do you have
So,
five?
here.
do we have 5?
Terry, Cynthia, Diane, Lance, and Patty. If
Bingo.
you,
Perfect.
if you appoint Lance, Diane, and Patty tonight.
Okay,
So,
I think we will.
Okay.
I,
And that's for D for appointments.
yep.
oh, good.
So, okay, so, have we skipped to C, or are we just gonna, we can skip,
Kinda winging it here, aren't we?
we can do B, because all I wanted to tell you is I've been working with MMA and for warrant articles, and, I'll call Brad Ellis again and make sure he gives me the letter that I asked him for, which he assured me he would, saying that they don't want the money back until we go to town meeting. And, it was, what's her name, Suzanne Pilgrims, I think is her name, she, said she would help me craft the warrant articles to make them legal and, you know.
At MMA.
Yeah,
Great.
so once
Very
you,
good.
Perfect.
you know,
Very
once
good.
she says that they're legal, you'd approve them and, yeah. So, an annual town meeting. I've been working on the town report. I've confirmed with Paul Davis that he will be moderator. I've talked to Grace Bible, as we suggested. They're willing to host the town meeting. They don't want to do a meal. I've talked to the Historical Society, but you don't have a meeting till the end of the month sometime.
Correct.
And they'll let me know then.
They're okay with someone doing a meal though?
Yeah,
Okay.
they just didn't
They didn't want
want
to
to do it.
Yep.
And I'm looking at February 27th. That would give me time to get the town report pulled together, get it to a printer, get it back, get it out, and start advertising now that
Sure.
That seems like a good date.
the audit is the very last of January. They may not have the full audit done, but they'll have the pieces that we need to put into the town report done by that date. Now, if I had my preference, I'd move it into March, but
I was just gonna ask, is there a reason why March has been abandoned as a?
It's not really abandoned. We're off by what? 4 days?
Actually, it's
Well, I
28.
mean,
2
March,
days.
2
March,
days.
the end of March is usually when the town meeting, at the very end of March.
I was
Because I
re-
always had a conflict with a conference I go to.
Oh,
And so I know that that's when it was.
yeah.
Our only motivation was we wanted to have it as soon as we were ready.
So that
And
we
if we're
can
not ready on the
start-
27th, we won't have it. But
January
if-
2nd would be nice.
Right,
Exactly.
because we're in limbo.
It's just like this,
Finances.
Yeah, you
have
can't-
money
Exactly.
to run the town.
you're
Exactly.
trying to do me in.
with no good excuse. I mean, there's no reason to just sit on it. Now, if we're not ready, we're not ready.
Right.
But if we're ready, there's no reason to delay the meeting.
And the other piece too is we have had, I know they've been whatever, but we have had a couple times in March where we've had to move it. And that gets clunky.
Oh, now
Oh,
you're
'cause
getting
then
way
it
out.
gets late.
Correct, because now you're
Yeah.
getting way out,
Right.
you know, so.
So if you had a blizzard on the 27th and you end up in the first week of March, that's okay.
Right.
Historically, it was always in March because that's what the law said. But that law changed in 1969.
Interesting.
What day is the 27th?
It's a Thursday night.
Okay.
And the way the town meeting's gone the last couple of years, doing it on a weeknight, I don't ever wanna go back to it.
No, that has
Right.
worked really well.
It's nice and smooth, it goes quickly.
Yep,
Because everyone has to put to bed.
that's right.
Well,
Maybe there's reason, but
the
whatever.
only thing I
It
see
goes
is
very
if
well.
we really get into a big discussion over this, we could be a while.
Well,
Um,
Then you table it.
yeah, I talked,
I mean, it's either gonna vote, whatever we do. I don't even know if we're gonna be ready for a vote.
I don't either.
I don't.
I
don't see it happening.
I don't, I really don't.
Information piece, that's,
Yep.
and that I
I
think
think it's
has to
gonna be-
precede the meeting. It can't even really be an article.
Right.
Well, you can make it an article if you phrase it. Let's see, I've been researching here.
Thank you.
But it's kinda still only informational, because we're not gonna have a
Right.
set direction.
Right, you're not gonna, but there is a way to phrase, not when it's posted. Okay. My glasses now. Discussion, straw polling, etc. You can, what about discussion, straw polling, or a verbal presentation from an architect, engineer, or consultant about some pending or planned town activity? Is this business to be acted upon, which must therefore be stated in the warrant? The statutes do not define business, however, since the purpose of the warrant is to warn the voter who may be tempted to be absent, the conservative course is to include items like this in the warrant. Examples of such articles are to see if the town will vote to discuss the location of the new town hall, or to see if the town will vote to hear a presentation from the town architect on the design of the new elementary school, et cetera, et cetera. Since these items are surely intended either to inform voters or to elicit their opinions, it's appropriate for them to be on the warrant.
Oh,
So that's how.
that's good.
So they
MMA.
could vote not to discuss it, and then you wouldn't be able to have a discussion.
True.
Right. Okay.
We don't wanna hear it, you know, it's like,
Great.
like we
I
say,
wanna go home.
like we always have the article, do you wanna allow out people of outside of town to speak? You could say no, and keep right on rolling, I mean, yeah, so,
So all that does is, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting.
No.
Shouldn't be.
no,
But what that warrant would do, that article would do is just, give permission for discussion to move forward.
to have a
To even have a
discussion.
Or
discussion.
in that,
It would allow people to know when they've seen the town report and the warrant that we might be discussing the issue of the town hall, and then at the meeting.
at the meeting.
At the meeting, and so then they'd know if they wanted to be part of that discussion,
To
To
show
be
up.
to
present.
show up. And that's what the warrant is supposed
And,
to.
but I doubt that it would happen, but conceivably, people could raise their hand and say, you know what, we don't wanna discuss this. And then that,
Can't.
we'd have to move to the next article item.
Yeah.
That would be what would happen. I suspect that wouldn't happen, but you never know. I
And-
saw them almost not pave a road once.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't have to have a vote as far as,
You couldn't
it's
have a
just a
vote.
discussion.
Yeah, but you have to
It's a
have
vote to have a
A
discussion,
discussion.
that's
You,
all.
you have a vote, and then you discuss
You
it.
share with them
I
your
understand.
dreams, your
Okay.
views of what
Okay.
this might
I
look like.
see. That there's no vote as far as action on.
nope.
You'd have to have an
discussion.
actionable question.
Okay.
And if
Gotcha.
that's
We wanna
not-
spend X amount of money to
Yeah.
build this
And we don't have
here.
that.
I don't
We
see
don't-
that
No,
happening.
no,
No.
no, no,
Ultimately, though, that's where you would get to.
right, right.
Yeah.
In fact, even this discussion might prep people for the idea that maybe later this year, we'll have a special town meeting in which we
We
would
need,
actually
we're
have
gonna
a
be
question.
addressing this, right?
That would be how it would unfold.
Yeah,
So you would need to have quite a lot of information to present as a board to the town.
I think at that, if between now and February, I think the most that we would share is probably our concerns. Like, a lot
now
of
we
people
have
don't
this.
know what you know. They haven't,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and why we're even thinking about
Yeah.
anything. I mean, 'cause most people have no idea there's any problem.
Yeah, we've got about a dozen people who know. and-
So this would be a great opportunity for everybody to at least be aware of the situation and how we're kind of viewing it. Doesn't mean it's the only way to view it, but then everybody will get to have a chance to say what they think.
I mentioned to a few people and I get we already fixed that. No, we didn't. But
Unfortunately.
we spent, yeah,
Yeah.
nope, nope, it is time to do it again,
Yeah.
so.
So that's fairly
Yeah.
benign, and it shouldn't be
I mean, that would,
we just wanna have our ducks in a row so that we can articulate the situation.
right.
Some of those pictures were great, I could see us having a piece in the town report, that
Yep.
kind of state of the building.
instead of my letter.
We'll work on it, but I think we could do,
I think you ought to have something, because, I mean, there's a
Get
lot of
people
people
up to
that, you know, may not typically come to town meeting, but may have an interest
Yeah,
in whether or not
and
we dump
read might read
this
the town
amount of money
report.
that's gonna
Yeah.
read the town report
Yep,
into this.
you're
building.
right. You're right.
So, I mean, I think if,
I didn't realize that's a good mechanism, that's perfectly legit.
Yeah, that is, that's great, that works for us.
Yep,
I mean, that's exactly what
I
we
mean, we
need.
have other issues that I could see us addressing that way, maybe not this, but we talked about putting that road in around the park.
Mm-hmm.
But again, most people have no idea that that's even being considered,
Mm-hmm.
or why you would consider it. You know, that's the
Yeah.
way you bring that stuff up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, are we done for now on the town hall? All right. American Legion, we're in good shape there now?
Yeah, I'm working on it,
Okay,
and we'll keep,
the town meeting, we covered that. The appointments, you wanna do those now?
please.
You want me to make a motion to appoint them, or
Sure. For the budget committee, it was Lance Burgess and,
Patty Davis and Diane McCarthy Clark?
okay,
So I would like to make a motion to appoint Diane McCarthy Clark, Patty Davis, and Lance Burgess to the Budget Committee.
second. Any further discussion? None? We vote? All three of us approve that? On to E, health and sanitation contracts.
As I said before Dale got here, Jack was supposed to be here tonight. He called me late Friday and said, can we, well, actually, he only emailed me and said, can we put it off until the 22nd? I'm not ready.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
So,
We're getting right up against the edge of it, though. It's like,
That's what I was asking.
it's about time to
Robbie.
let citizens know that there's changes upon us. What is he, I can't imagine what he's not ready for. Well, I guess he's not here. Who am I to judge?
I don't know, I mean,
Do we have a definitive answer as to whether we're responsible for fees should the facility close?
the,
We were going to the town's attorney on that.
Mm-hmm.
yes, I
We
did.
got-
I
yeah,
did.
yeah.
I was trying to think who I talked to last about that. Yes, she said, most likely. We
Most
are.
likely.
Thought I forwarded the email.
Yes,
I'll
yes.
forward.
You did.
Yes.
I remember.
Yeah, because she said, you know, you might throw a number out and just say,
Well, is
It
that
might
the
be
one
part
where
of the
she thought we gave
discussion.
notice on one portion but not the
Right,
other, but
but
she was wrong, we
we
give
did.
notice on everything.
Correct.
yeah,
Right, we'd given
Correct.
notice on everything. That we covered.
okay,
So one thing, and I don't know if, which is too bad he's not here tonight, because it's
yeah, it's
my,
getting,
one thing for me, the direction that I wanna go in, may take us more than one night,
No,
in my opinion, because what I would like to do is, yes, I wanna focus on what the town is paying for services there, but I wanna talk about this liability end. I think contractually.
and maybe
we-
maybe those are kind of the
Maybe
things he
that's what
was
he's
thinking
but
about. I don't know.
I think we've paid more than our fair share, as we know, all of these years, to the point that there should be something in writing that waives us from a potential
We may have
liability.
already paid our share for
Right.
closing that place.
So I would like to focus more on the contract on that.
Yep.
Yeah, I wanna be better than where we are contractually, but I wanna see that liability gone.
When I talked to Jack, he said to me that basically they reduced, we pay like 19% of the costs for there. We are second to Dover Foxcroft, but all the other towns are, Atkinson, Barnard, they're all the
Small.
little Power Bank, and they pay next to nothing. And so they reduced our costs basically because we're either gonna go and they're gonna have to pick them up anyway, or maybe we'd stay if,
But what's the population between,
I can't.
I mean, I know
remember.
he's saying we're second, but
Yeah.
when you look at these other towns, we're probably not far ahead of them to be called a second. I mean,
Well-
we may be second, but
Well, the fact of the matter is, should be a formula.
That's right.
that's what I'm
Shouldn't
saying.
be
This is-
arbitrary,
that's
like, you know, we kinda wish you'd stay.
I think there is
So
a
we cut you
formula.
by 10
I'm not
grand.
sure.
I think,
No,
no,
that
that's
doesn't work.
too,
But I mean, at the end of the day,
Willy-nilly.
it's
Yeah.
tonnage, it's population, so many people is worth so
Bingo.
many tons,
Yeah, yeah.
this is what you pay.
you
Yeah.
don't
And
pay
every year
less.
it should be assessed.
Right.
What's your population this year?
Correct.
Correct, or at least every few years
Yeah,
you
yeah.
For a
update it.
few.
Yeah.
And so did he decide to charge Atkinson more now? Because I just,
No, well, I can't
seems
verify, I
shocking.
have no numbers to verify, but apparently supposedly Dover picked up.
But that's kind of what I'm thinking.
maybe they should have been all along.
Well, and that's, like Mike said,
Yeah.
if you take all these years we've been doing this, and we've been paying a higher percentage, really than what we should have been paying, the amount we've already given them in excess should more than equal our liability in, if it would ever to close.
Yeah.
You would think, I mean, there should be some acknowledgement of this over $200,000 in excess that we've paid in the last 20 years.
Right.
So, yeah,
Has it been 20 years?
94, 90.
Yeah, we're in
It
there.
is back there.
And so
I
if
can
if
pull
we,
those numbers up if you want them.
maybe we've only recently been overcharged. That's why I don't think it's that really ambiguous. I think we've been overcharged. But anyway, maybe in light of that, they might say you don't have a 1-year waiting period and you wouldn't be subject to any closing fees if you're willing to stay with us. That would be a reasonable
Negotiation,
trade-off for
right.
us to consider.
Right.
But we don't know, because he's not,
Right,
we don't have any information. So. But, and I guess in one sense, we're not really up against a wall time-wise, because we've given our 365 days, whether we go on February 6th or April 6th, it doesn't, they're not gonna kick us out.
No.
They've been notified.
you can prorate what you,
Right, and Dexter will
Right.
take us
We need
anytime we wanna
need a
go.
contract to keep going.
So I guess in that sense, the foot isn't really on us.
Right, right.
Well, we say that as long as, is that how it works with them?
Yeah, we need,
I mean,
we
we
need to
say-
confirm all that.
That's right. I mean, Jackie go up there, yep, sure, Sangerville, you can
Yeah,
turn around
yeah.
and go home.
I know.
I mean, we don't wanna be in that situation, that's why I was
No,
hoping he's
no.
gonna be here. to-
right, I
Well,
know,
it's
I know,
It's kind of important.
Yeah, I mean.
I called him
It's
the
been a
day
year.
after the
Yeah, exactly.
December,
Yeah.
last December meeting,
That's
he said he could do it, but we've had Christmas and New Year's in between there and.
But we
Yeah,
had
we had June
November
and
and
July.
October and September.
I know,
And,
I
and,
know.
and it's not like it's been off the radar, because every time I go to the dump, I have the
Somebody-
discussion with Joe Sands. So it's very much on their radar, so.
But I get it, it's budgetary, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot more
Well,
on the
he-
radar right now.
he
because
did call-
they
Yeah.
need to-
I did talk to him in July, but he didn't give me any
I know, that's when
numbers,
they
he
were here
didn't,
a
yeah,
year ago, I mean,
yeah.
well, not quite.
He said,
Right.
Yeah, they were.
Almost, yeah, almost.
They were here and they had nothing to say.
No.
yeah,
I don't know.
he kinda said, well,
Just kind of feel like we're getting jerked around a little bit.
yeah. So,
Did we get a number from Dexter, of a concrete number? We did.
yes, I didn't bring it with me, it was,
Okay.
It was sent to us.
yeah,
I think you got it.
Okay.
and if you don't, I've got it, but I didn't bring the folder.
I guess the next thing to confirm is,
Oh, no, I don't,
it's all right.
I don't have it in front of me, I don't
It's all
dare.
of us.
no
Yeah.
secret.
No.
But I think that's one thing we want to confirm with both parties, is that we're not up against a drop dead timeline here.
Yeah,
Because if we are, we're going to Dexter
Okay.
on the 6th, because
That's right.
they didn't give us
Yeah.
any
We'll go
option.
somewhere.
Yeah, we don't have any choice.
Right.
So, hopefully that's not the case, but,
yeah,
Right.
okay, I'll call both Trampus in.
yeah.
Right.
Jack. I believe I've seen in the contract that it's just prorated, but I'll go read it again, cause.
Well, I thought that's what it was too, but the only thing that makes me nervous is what he said to you, you mentioned a meeting or two ago, about how, something about turning people
Oh, yeah,
around, or,
oh, yeah.
you know, the
Yeah.
deadline's coming, and they're
The
not gonna be
deadline's-
allowed to come here.
That's right.
anymore.
Yeah, or is he looking at it this way, once you get past date X, you're automatically renewed, and now you have to give us another year notice?
Oh.
I don't,
Yeah.
anything's possible at this point.
Exactly, and there's no, there's.
It's not really
pretty
smelling
loose.
right.
No.
Okay, that's
All right.
important.
That is important.
Okay, on to, item 6, new business, deputy town clerk position.
I've had 4 replies.
Any interviews? Not yet? Okay.
Working on the 5th for you.
Okay, I'm thinking of putting them in Bangor Daily maybe, I haven't had anything this week. Of the four I have, I think only one's a possibility, and I'd like to have,
Yeah. When we applied, we were advertising for town manager, you did that before through Bangor Daily Online, right?
Yep, it works great, it's really easy. The exact same ad you have now, you can just cut and paste it right into the electronic Bangor Daily, and it will post immediately.
yeah,
We got a lot of hits.
It's very
I think a lot of
inexpensive.
what we got back was from that.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate, it wasn't, we were told it was gonna cost us thousands of dollars, it wasn't,
No,
it was a
it
few $100s.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap.
Okay.
And you got a lot of exposure, so I wouldn't be shy about doing that.
Well, I didn't, I thought maybe I'd do that instead of run it in the Gazette and the
I
other.
think
Yeah.
that definitely
Yeah.
is a better bang for your buck.
Okay. So that's what I'm gonna do.
What about Indeed? I know we use that a lot at work,
Do you?
and we post solely on,
Huh,
we get hammered with it. There's a lot of people around here that use Indeed.
What's the cost look like?
No idea.
Okay, I'll look at it.
I just get the printout afterwards, I don't say that.
Does the county have a Facebook page? Does Casco County Facebook page?
No, I mean, there is, the county
County,
does have, yeah, right, I was just trying to think of that, that is,
Chamber of Commerce.
yes.
and what about MMA? Wasn't there some way of advertising through MMA
Oh, no,
as well?
I
this works
did.
well.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and that's very easy too.
That's done,
That's done,
Because-
That's right,
I did that first.
okay,
If you query Clark,
Yeah.
all the Clark jobs come up, so if you're looking,
Yeah,
that's something
that's
you
great.
might do every week.
Yeah.
Or day,
that's great.
yeah.
It is, but I think the problem is you get a lot of people that might make a, like right now, I mean, who we have now,
Wouldn't
Wasn't-
necessarily ever look there.
that's
Oh.
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're in the
Okay.
mindset, I want a clerk job and I wanna relocate, yeah, I'm gonna look.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're, I
Right,
think there's a lot of highly capable people that could do that job that would never think to go on MMA to look for a
right,
job.
right.
It works
That's-
very well for town managers,
Yes.
because they typically,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
they're
that's
doing,
what
so
they're
they're checking
using.
it all the time, they wanna
Right.
change towns, so.
Right.
yeah.
All right, so I'll look into those two tomorrow.
Okay. Item 7, the road commissioner's report.
None.
Just for the record, I thought they handled the ice storm really well. They actually went by my house backwards. It was so
Chris
bad, they
said
were
today.
backing up sanding, so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I never had seen them do that before. At one point in the middle of the day, I said to my wife, this is crazy, I'm gonna go get the mail. And
You
I
know,
took
I
like
didn't
3
get-
steps up my driveway, "Ooh."
I didn't get any complaints that day.
What's that?
I didn't get any complaints that day.
Well, I think when everybody's in a mess, it's like, you know.
Yeah.
There was so many things on Facebook of other towns with ambulances upside down and
Yeah, there were.
plow trucks in the ditch
Yeah.
and, you know,
Yeah. I,
kudos to anybody that made any road in any town so you could drive on it that day.
yeah,
They were at it, and I thought that was pretty cool, so.
yeah.
Correspondence.
Okay. This is budgetary as well as correspondence. We always contract with Patterson's to have a place to dump waste if we have to. He's gone up this year to 800 from 550.
Just to be retained, or just?
Just to be retained, we never, knock on wood, we never use it, but if we had
And
to.
then if.
But he
we-
hasn't gone up since 2002, and the DEP, he says, has put new
Oh.
restrictions on.
So it went from 550?
550 to 800, and it says, he sent a letter with the bill and contract. Dear select persons, enclosed is the agreement between myself and your town. You will see a fee increase for the year of 2020. This is necessary to new regulations from the DEP. Also, please note that the last fee increase was in the year 2002. Thank you for your consideration, Dennis Patterson. I called him to see exactly what the DEP had done, but he hasn't called me back yet.
I just would get some more quotes.
I don't know what we need for,
I mean, as long as they're all the same, and he.
yeah.
But I don't know if we've ever used him. I actually do use him personally.
Yeah,
I know we've given it to him every year forever, but I
yeah,
don't know if his,
I don't ever remember,
I have no idea if
but I
we've ever had
I
him
don't know
use
how
it or not.
far, yeah,
but I mean, he's always been on our books as being the person.
yeah.
And then if we have to use him, then obviously we pay him for the service.
I had no idea,
If we pay him once a year, we pay him for the service, and
That's
then,
what we
and then if you could have 20 incidences in 1 year and you'd still get to use it, or you can have no incidences and we pay him anyway.
Oh, so he doesn't charge on top of that oh.
No,
No,
that's it.
no.
But a 60% increase is probably worth at least checking and making sure that that's
Yeah,
competitive,
yeah.
and so that when you go to the budget meeting, you can say,
Right.
because people are gonna say, you went up 60%, yeah.
Right. Well, he addressed the letter to you guys,
I agree with
and
you.
we're,
What's that increase, we figured it out over?
Over to.
No, it's,
That's what
Yeah.
I would be
Yeah.
a little more incremental if I were
Yeah.
in that business.
yeah, so.
No, as long as everybody else is close, I don't think.
I mean, it
we can
goes
see
to the
it.
budget, and I will go do some estimates. I didn't tell you about the town reports, I did 3 quotes, and the company we used last year is by far the best.
Good.
It's half of the second quote and a third of the third quote.
Wow.
And the product was fine,
And it's
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
The product seemed to be good.
Yep.
I've asked, that's another thing I wanted to ask you, I've asked Shelby Taylor, she has any nice pictures of Sangerville. If she doesn't, I'll keep looking for the front cover.
What about, go a different direction, what about the Historical Society? Do we have something for an older picture to put on there? Is it just
Buttons.
We've got lots of pictures.
yeah, that's what I would
Might be
do.
something fun to do, something
Yeah.
different.
Let them pick, I
Mhm.
mean, something unique or different from the past and put it up there.
I'm fine with that too.
Do you want
Yeah.
to ask Diane?
Yeah,
Okay.
please. And the other thing is dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Any ideas?
None that jump out at me right now, but we can noodle it.
Yeah, we can,
Keep thinking.
dedication.
I don't know who.
Mm-hmm.
You know, lots of years it's
Somebody's,
passed, so yeah.
I know, and I'm not trying to sound negative about that, but it would be really nice to award people while they know that it's happened. I mean,
Well, here's my one name that I came up with.
I like to keep it secret, so don't put it on tape, please.
Plug your
That's
ear.
one of the few things we get to keep secret, is that what you're
That's
saying?
it.
it's like a
Well, somebody can
surprise.
give me hell for it, but yeah. I
Oh,
like
write
to
it down.
All right, all
Usually
right,
write it
all
down and
right.
slide it around the table.
That's right. And then the person's surprised.
There has been a teary eye before when this has happened, so just assume.
Yeah,
For your consideration.
Well,
okay.
give me some ideas.
Okay,
We will,
okay.
Don't
Okay.
wrinkle your nose at me, give me some
Okay.
ideas.
I know, honestly, the reason why I'm wrinkling your nose, because I've written that name down a few times in the past, and I've been wrinkled out, so.
Oh,
It's not that I'm wrinkling because you did it, I just want you to know why.
You want your turn to wrinkle.
No, I just bringing it up, I'm not saying I'm against it at all, so.
okay. I'll wait and see if you guys have any ideas, but that's my idea.
Yep.
And we already talked about Sharon Mountain, so.
Okay, all right.
What realtor is she with?
She is with
Berkshire.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Berkshire. She recommended I get a second person. I'm like, I don't have time to play
We're not going
with this.
We're not
I'm not
going
actually selling the building.
No.
Right, right.
We were just curious to what it would
What-
be.
yeah.
You know, when anything you do, it's worth X, you're gonna put X in it, where's
Yeah.
the justification?
Because someone's gonna ask you,
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
if you guys are, what do you think the building's worth?
Right.
What's it assessed at? Well,
Yeah.
it's
Well, and
assessed
then
at
you
this,
get
but it's worth
the
this.
you get the American Legion and the selling for $10,000, and
Yeah.
you know, really
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
That's reality.
yeah.
I mean, like it or lump it.
Legion architecturally is just crap
Yeah.
compared to
He,
this.
well,
I'm guessing
yes.
the foundation was better than this one, based on what we're getting told,
Yeah.
but
I don't
we'll
know.
see.
I haven't seen the
Could be worse.
foundation.
If it is worse, it won't be standing worse.
I saw pictures of the inside. It's very, very dated.
Looks like upstairs.
Yeah. Upstairs looks better though. Sorry, guys. All
And
right.
that looks rough over there. I've never been in it. Okay, request for additional agenda items. None? Selectmen's concerns? Go ahead.
I was just wondering if we've laid eyes, I have actually on the salt sand pile.
I just got another load of salt.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need more sand?
Well,
I didn't.
I don't know, I just drove by and I haven't sort of been out and about and I was just, I went,
Okay.
because I have a picture of when we put it up, and,
She looks at it twice a day.
yeah, I know, okay, so it's on your radar, okay.
We
A
had,
little-
honestly, we've had a lot this
We-
year as far as freeze and rain.
We
haven't
have.
had a lot of plowing storms, but we've had to spread a lot of sleighing.
Yeah,
But I think the pile's holding well. I'm kinda hoping that the weather's gonna flop and get us more to snow than freeze and rain.
Yeah.
right.
Saturday, Sunday, brace yourself.
A lot of rain now, like over an inch on
It's
Saturday.
good.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be 50 degrees and rain, there won't be any ice.
50 degrees?
Yep.
I've heard some icing.
Well, yeah.
They keep,
When it ends.
the
it always
number was
goes back
originally a
down.
foot of snow on
I
Sunday, now they're
know.
down like 2 inches.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, that should be
That's why I
fine.
don't listen.
So anyway, I mean, I hadn't driven that by, I've been.
It's
and
dropped. There is no doubt about it. It has
Supposed to drop though.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
You mean,
It's January, it's not.
yeah, it's January, I mean, but anyway, I
did
just,
get a load
We
of.
get through this month,
Everybody's-
we're gonna really have a better idea.
Yeah, okay,
honestly.
okay.
But
I know you, it's
Um,
on your radar always.
I did, actually, it's funny that you bring that up, I didn't really wanna talk a whole lot about it, but, sand is basically similar to what we had last year,
Oh,
so.
No complaints though.
There was only one, and I reminded somebody who, nothing,
okay.
just kind of.
Um, Executive session? No, we're good.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? It's 10, well, 12 of 6, we are adjourned.
I was gonna say it's 10?
12 of 6.
Excellent, excellent.
There we go.